On The View from the Bay,
let us be your guide.
Right now, the walkabout continues. Get up close with the wild side of Australia.
Great guests.
Wake up, San Francisco.
Good times. All right. And of course, good food.
The View from the Bay starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The View from the Bay. Great to have you with us today. It is Thursday, January 21st. I'm Spencer Christian. Janelle is off today, but I'm sure she's watching. So we have a great show for her and for you today, including this. We continue our one-week walkabout down under as we search for kangaroos, and we get a didgeridoo and boomerang lesson. Also, avoid forgetting, regretting, and simply abandoning your resolutions, as we often do, with 5 easy steps. Plus, is your child having problems in school or maybe seeming a bit clumsy? We have the warning signs that your child may have a vision problem. And we have 7 ways to find support in these financially and emotionally stressful times. But we start. Now, is your child having problems in school or seeming maybe a little bit clumsy? We have 8 warning signs that he or she may have a vision problem. That's coming up next.
And Lisa.
Now, if your child has a vision problem, you might not recognize it right away. The child might not recognize it either. Our next guest will tell us the warning signs to look for so we can help our children. Welcome, Dr. Elio Polsinelli. Good
Thank you, Spencer, for having me.
Oh, sure. Good to have you here. So, how common are vision problems in children?
Vision problems are actually very prominent. 80% of what we learn through our eyes by the age of 12 years of age is through our vision. And 1 in 4 school-aged children have vision-related problem that can be corrected, and only 9 out of 10 children before the age of 6 had a comprehensive eye exam.
Wow. And what are the most common vision problems that young children might have?
Sure. The most common problems that the young child may have is being nearsighted, being extra far-sighted. Some develop lazy eye or a slight eye turn, which can be corrected.
Well, we have some graphics here to help demonstrate for you what things might look like to a person with different vision problems. This is normal vision, right?
Correct. So as you can see in the picture, the chalkboard is nice and clear, and the child is nice and clear.
Okay. Now, we have one for nearsightedness. If a child is nearsighted, we're going to show you what it might look like. There you go.
Correct. So this child right here, you could see up close with nearsightedness. Everything at a distance will be nice and blurry for the child, so they won't be able to copy from the board or see what the teacher is pointing to during class.
Now, I would imagine farsightedness would be pretty much the opposite.
Correct. So farsight is when the child sees far away, but can have a focusing problem up close when they're doing prolonged near work.
Okay. Now, good tracking. What is this?
So tracking is what's needed when we're looking and reading for learning. So this demonstrates good tracking. You could see the text clearly and accurately. The words make sense.
Right, okay. And bad tracking?
This is bad tracking. As you could try to read this, everything is jumbled up, the spacing's off. Children mix up words. This can be a misalignment or convergence issue, which we'll show later.
And this is a fairly common problem in young children?
This is pretty common, and it's usually undiagnosed because a lot of parents only know that their child may see 20/20, but they don't realize they have an eye movement disorder.
And it's pretty obvious what this is. This is double vision.
Correct. This is double vision. This can occur with prolonged near work when the child is studying or learning how to read.
All right, now here's an example of what convergence is.
This is convergence and sufficiency, and when we're looking up close, your eyes have to come inward and maintain single clear alignment, and that extra visual demand is very difficult on children.
Okay, and finally, a graphic for astigmatism.
So this demonstrates astigmatism. You could see everything has a little tilt to it. This is an oblique astigmatism. Some things are in focus, some things are out of focus, depending on what distance the child is looking.
Right. Now, what things should a parent look for in a child that might be clues to some kind of vision problem?
Sure. So if a child complains that the board is blurry or has difficulty looking and seeing the chalkboard, that's a #1 symptom, why we have referrals in the office. Another issue is a child may reverse B's, D's, P's, and
right.
Q's.
You see that quite often.
Yes, letter reversals. Swiss psychologist Dr. Piaget in the early 1900s showed that children by the age of 7 should not have letter reversals. So if your child's doing this, make sure you get a comprehensive eye exam.
And I would imagine in a young child with vision problems, the child thinks everything is normal, right? Because what else does he or she know?
Exactly. You're born a certain way, and you don't know how you're supposed to see. I've had many instances where a child put on their first pair of glasses, and they're like, wow, I could see the leaves on the tree.
Yeah, yeah. So at what age should a parent take a child in for the first eye exam?
The California Optometric Association recommends a first eye examination at 6 months of age.
Wow, that's amazing. 6
Yes.
months. And you can correct problems before the child is even ready for school then?
Correct. We have objective ways of measuring eye alignment, their refraction, and to make sure there's no disease or pathology that the child may have.
Now, once again, in recognizing signs that the child may have a vision problem, you mentioned if the child complains about things being blurred or not seeing clearly. What about if the child seems uncoordinated or isn't maintaining balance properly? Might that be a vision problem?
That is. A colleague of mine currently had a patient where the mother was complaining of their toddler bumping into things on the one side. Upon examination, the child actually couldn't see in the one eye, so they had to start treatment, and eventually the child developed full vision. Another sign is your child may tilt your brow down, turn to the side. Right. They may have a little squint when they're looking at things. Yeah. Definitely bring them in. Well,
all of Dr. Polsinelli's tips are on our website. Very, very helpful information. I'm sure all parents should check this out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Really appreciate it. Very helpful. Okay.